It's so funny how I obtained the IG handle that I have now, Mr. Relationships. My associate, or my former associate pastor, she actually gave me that nickname because I always love to talk about relationships. I think that relationships are so undervalued nowadays. We look at it, we take it for granted. You know, the people that we're with or the people that we've been around for years, we don't value them the same way we did them day one. It's called getting comfortable. We all get comfortable. We all want to have a great relationship, but sometimes we're not a good relationship person. And I thought about it when God first asked me to talk about relationships and have these relationship discussion forums, and he said, she said, and I was like, "Are you sure you want me to talk about this? I don't know. You know, I haven't had a lot of long term committed relationships. I was a master of short term relationships, and I'm not proud of any of this that I'm saying. I'm not saying this to get any bragging rights. I'm saying this just to let you know of where I come from and what I've done." And I remember one of the things that I was thinking about was there's a part of us that has an expectation of the opposite sex, whether it's a casual thing, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a family member. We have an expectation of them. And whenever they don't meet that expectation, we're like, you know what? I wish they would have done this. I don't know how many people I've talked to about, and they've talked to me about their relationships. A lot of the times they're saying, well, this person doesn't do this. You know, and they're referring to the opposite sex, or the person that they're in the relationship with. They're like, hey, they don't do this. You know, I wish that they would be more outgoing. I wish that they would wear this outfit. I wish that they would stop doing this. I wish that they would stop doing that. And one of the questions that I always like to ask, because I'm just simply interested and try to get them to think about it a different way, is, were they doing that when you first met them? Or were they not doing that when you first met them? And I'd say if it's not 100, 95% or higher have said, no, you know what? They never did that. So my question to you, and my question as I'm sitting here reflecting about it, is what part of us has an expectation for something that someone has never even acted out? We never saw evidence of this ever happening. And it's dawning on me now as I'm talking about it that there's an expectation that we have of a person that may or may not exist. We've fabricated in our mind that this person is supposed to meet this invisible standard. We never talked to this person about this before, or we talked to them about it. They gave us an honest answer, and we're like, you know what? A part of me is going to be able to change them. My positive influence, my way of living, my way of thinking, my way of doing things is going to rub off. It has to. You know, when people get together, they start to act similar after a certain time. Yeah, but that person has to buy in, so to speak. Not literally buy in, but they have to be influenced to the level of making the decision to change for themselves. If they don't make that decision, they're not going to change. And there's nothing you can do to change them. You can't force people to change. As much as we'd love to, I wish that it would be summer all year round. I haven't had luck changing it yet. It's cold outside. Look at me, I'm wearing a sweater. I would love having shorts and t-shirts and, you know, just walking out on the beach every single day. But there's nothing I could do to change that. God would have to change the seasons, and it hasn't changed yet. I won't stop me from praying for it though. But you see what I'm saying? That we have to be able to look at people, and it's almost like we have to make the presumption or assumption that they're not going to change. They're going to be just as they are. And are we okay with just as they are? Or will a part of us try to change them? We can influence them. We can be a positive light. And when they're having a negative day, we can uplift them, encourage, we can support, we can do all of that. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is when we're trying to, if they're going left and we're like, get right. No, get right. Get right now. That way of forcing is only going to discourage them. And it's going to allow them to build a very negative view of you. And it's going to cause resentment. And resentment is the cancer to relationships because it kills or it minimizes or diminishes communication. Communication is the backbone of what relationship stands on. So if there is no communication, what is the relationship standing on? Absolutely nothing. And And that's why it crumbles down. And that's why we're having the problems that we're having in society. We can't keep good relationships, generally speaking, because of the issues that we're creating. We have expectations, and we have something in our mind that says this person is going to buy into what I'm saying. They may not agree at the beginning, but eventually I'm going to be able to win them over. How many of you have been right about that? How many of you have been wrong? I'd love to know. I'd love to keep this conversation going, because I think that it's important for us to realize that people have to make the decision to change. If they don't make that decision to change, they're not going to change. I hate to break it to you that way, but that's the honest truth. So what you going to do? If they don't change, what will you do?